Ladies and gentlemen, today we are out here on the trail putting the Deviate Claymore through its paces. Stick around, we are going to tell you all about it here in just a little bit. So today we are talking about the Deviate Claymore, a 165mm rear travel, 29-inch wheeled Enduro bike with a high pivot suspension design. But first, a little background on Deviate themselves. They were founded in 2016 out of Scotland, and they have an emphasis on high pivot Enduro and all mountain bikes. So the bikes in their lineup consist of the Highlander, which comes in 140 and 150 millimeters of travel, and the Claymore, which you see behind me, which has 165 millimeters of rear travel with, like I said, that high pivot design. Speaking of the Claymore, that happens to be the bike that our friend Matthew Fairbrother, a sponsored rider from Trail One, has been riding on the EWS circuit. And if that wasn't crazy enough, he is actually bike packing in between the stages, which is absolutely bonkers. So check him out. You can probably see him on the screen right now and follow his journey along. That is definitely a very exciting thing to be watching. But more about the Claymore. As I mentioned before, it's got 160 millimeters of travel in the rear, paired with a 170 millimeter fork, and that brings it to a 64.3 degree head tube angle. It also has a 78 degree seat tube angle and a 460 millimeter reach on the medium, 490 millimeter reach on the large, and 520 millimeter reach on the XL. Some of the notable features on this bike include the threaded bottom bracket, standard boost spacing, 2.6-inch clearance for tires in the rear, a cable gutter that also doubles as accessory mounts, which is very nifty, a bolt-on carbon down tube protector, and a lifetime warranty. If you are interested in all of the little nitty-gritty details on this bike, please check the link in the description below. We have a great article all about this bike. But enough about the specs and geo, let's talk about how this thing rides on the trail. Earlier today, I myself had the pleasure of riding this awesome bike, but my friend Liam also had the pleasure of spending plenty of time on the Claymore himself. So I brought him along with me today. Man, I'm glad that worked. Awesome.
What's up, Jared?
Yeah, how's it going, Liam?
Good.
Awesome. So we're talking about the Claymore and climbing. What do you think about the Claymore and its climbing ability?
Well, it is a 165 mil travel bike, so it's not going to be a mountain goat, but it actually climbs pretty well. The idler takes away a lot of any anti-squat that's going on, and it gets up the hill for a 165 travel bike. The steep seat tube angle helps a lot. Yeah,
I totally agree. I thought this thing was going to be a pig on the climbs because I thought high pivot, 165 mil travel, and I was really surprised actually, especially on technical climbs, how much grip that rear tire had from perhaps the coil and the high pivot design. But yeah, super impressed with how well it climbed. Like you said, steep seat tube angle.
Yes.
Really puts you in a great position for climbing, and yeah, it didn't really feel like a 165 mil travel bike on the climbs.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we got for climbing, but let's talk about how it goes downhill.
Yeah, it's actually meant to go downhill.
Shut up!
So, that's probably where it's going to shine.
Right. The best part about riding bikes.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, the Claymore downhill, I was lucky enough to spend quite a bit of time on the Highlander, so I had a good feel for the bike's platform, and then Ben from Deviate brought over Claymore before its release, and I got about a month and a half on it. Got really used to it and rode it on a lot of home trails. And of course, it's a 165 travel bike, 180 fork, it's a monster truck. One thing I noticed though, which is not super common for a bike with this much travel, is how well it was able to hold speed, and it didn't dive into the travel too much. It kind of stayed on top, and you're able to get that nice pump kind of going through rock gardens and able to just hold your momentum. On this bike that was different than other monster trucks that I've ridden in the past.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that too. Just how well you can maintain your line at speed in super technical sections. And but yeah, not only that, I just noticed how well this bike corners, and just kind of how versatile it was. Like, I kind of expected it to just be like straight down the trail and that's all you would want to do with it, but I found that it was a lot more versatile than I thought, and it was a really good time.
Yeah, some high pivots that I've ridden tend to, as you get into the travel, the chainstay grows, and as you corner, you kind of also are getting in the travel, and it grows, and it wants to stand you up in a corner. I felt the Claymore had a really good balance of being smooth in that transition and not standing you up and able to really lean the bike over and kind of hold that corner angle that you wanted.
Yeah, totally. Definitely noticed that. Well, rad. That is our on-trail impressions for the Deviate Claymore. All in all, I really, really enjoyed my time upon the Claymore. I thought it was a super fun enduro bike that honestly I would recommend to anybody who is interested in enduro racing or just really loves steep technical terrain. When it comes to frame kits and availability, we actually have several frames in stock right now at the time of this filming, and we are happy to build you a custom build at any one of our locations or online. So please feel free to reach out, ask me personally any questions. We also have a full squad of bike nerds ready to answer any questions you may have, so please feel free to take advantage of that and utilize our knowledge and recommendations. That pretty much wraps this one up. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you are so inclined and you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share with a friend. It really means a lot, and we truly do appreciate it. Well, thank you guys again so much. See you in the next one. Cheerio.